My husband's cousin claimed to be a system transmigrator. She said that if she couldn't marry my husband, she would disappear. After I refused, she really disappeared. Later, right after I handed over the business empire I built from scratch to my son, my husband immediately asked for a divorce. My son even directly sent me, who was seriously ill, to a nursing home, leaving me to fend for myself. Only then did I know. It turned out they had always hated me for causing the cousin's death. When I opened my eyes again, my son was crying and begging me. Looking at this familiar scene in front of me, I suddenly realized I had been reborn. Before I could even catch my breath, my husband Ji Buchan's cold and questioning words reached my ears. Ji Wei, if you're worried that I will cheat with Ruyan and that's why you won't agree to let her be Ichen's mother, then you can rest assured. I will not do anything to betray you. I turned my head and saw Ji Buchang holding a woman in his arms, sitting on the sofa. It was Lu Ruyan, and on the coffee table in front of them, there were a few scattered documents. I didn't even need to look to know that it was the late-stage lung cancer diagnosis of his distant cousin, Lu Ruyan. 3 months ago, Lu Ruyan came to City A to look for a job because they were somewhat related by blood. My mother-in-law arranged for her to work at the Shin Group and even had her live in our house. Who would have thought that after 3 months of living together, she actually made both my husband and son fall head over heels for her? My son, Ji Ichen, was hugging my leg, crying uncontrollably. Lu Ruyan spoke up at this moment, her voice as quiet as a mosquito. Sister, I know my request is very unreasonable, but I really have been taking care of Ichen like he's my own child. I just want to leave him with a few more memories. I have no other extravagant hopes. Just then, I suddenly heard a robotic voice broadcast. System prompt. Male lead Ji Ichen's affection for the host has increased. Current affection level is 95. Triggerable plot node detected. If the status request is rejected by Shin Jiwei, guilt value will automatically accumulate, which can help the host complete the task. My heart jolted violently. I subconsciously glanced up at Lu Ruyan. She still maintained that weak appearance, but the corners of her mouth curled up almost imperceptibly, unable to hide a hint of smugness. I understood everything in an instant. Lu Ruyan was no distant cousin at all. Her target, from the very beginning, was my son, who is the future destined male lead, Ji Ichen. Lu Ruyan must have bound a guilt value system long ago. As long as she made my son feel guilty towards her, she could complete her task and leave this world. In my previous life, I refused this ridiculous request, never expecting that I would end up helping Lu Ruyan, while I myself didn't meet a good end. In this life, I'm going to personally play this game with them to the very end, and make them all pay the price they deserve. I took a deep breath. Sure, I can get a divorce, and Lu Ruyan can marry into the family. But I have one condition. First, Ichen goes to me. The air in the living room seemed to freeze. Ji Buchan's expression instantly changed, from astonishment to gloominess, as if he had choked hard on something. What did you say? Ichen's custody goes to me. Everything else is negotiable. Lu Ruyan reacted faster. Tears were still brimming in her eyes, but her voice was already filled with urgency. Sister, please don't be like this. I don't want to break up your family. If you disagree, I can leave. She said this and tried to stand up, her body swaying as if having an anemic spell. Ji Buchan quickly supported her, his eyebrows knitting tightly together. Jiwei, stop making a scene. If Ruyan's treatment fails, she really will die. Can't you be a little more generous? I smiled from the bottom of my heart. Big brother, didn't I just say I agreed to the divorce? Are you deaf? I even agreed to let your woman live in my house. Is that not generous enough? Ji Buchan's face flushed red, half from anger and half from a guilty conscience. What do you mean my woman? Ruyan is just staying here temporarily. She has a terminal illness. What's wrong with us helping her? Mom, Dad, stop fighting. Ji Ichen suddenly shouted out, broke free from my hand, and ran to Lu Ruyan's side. Seeing this, I was truly speechless. Fine, since Ichen also wants to follow you, then I don't want custody anymore. I only want the property. Ji Buchang's eyebrows furrowed even tighter. What do you mean? My premarital property, my personal assets, all the companies and shares under my name. Don't even think about touching a single cent. As for the marital property, Ji Buchang, didn't you say you wouldn't cheat? Since you won't, then leaving the marriage with nothing shouldn't be a problem, right? I glanced at Lu Ruyan. Lu Ruyan's expression changed. Sister, I'm really not doing this for money. I interrupted her and smiled. I know, you're doing it for your life, right? Lu Ruyan's face instantly turned transparently white. Warning, plot deviates from preset. Shin Jiwei did not refuse. Unable to harvest regret and guilt values, luck absorption slowing down. Ji Buchang held her shoulders, looking down at her pale as paper face, feeling incredibly heartbroken. Jiwei, that's enough. Ruyan is already this sick, and you're still making sarcastic jokes. You want a divorce, right? Fine. I agree. Okay, I never said you couldn't. Ichen goes to you. Property goes to me. We'll go handle the paperwork tomorrow. Ji Buchan was stunned. He didn't expect me to be so decisive. He opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but finally only managed to squeeze out one sentence. The Design Institute is my life's work. That belongs to me. I almost laughed out loud. That was a vanity project built for him, using the Shin Group's resources and connections. The location was my premarital property, rent-free. The clients were my connections supporting him. Even the design assistant's salaries were paid from my company's account. The only thing Ji Buchan actually put into it was drawing pictures. Sure, the Design Institute can be yours, but since we are getting a divorce, rent starts from today. 200,000 a month. Pay before you lease. Ji Buchang was so angry his face turned green. That is the place where I create art. Even creating art requires paying rent. It's perfectly justified. I picked up the draft divorce agreement from the coffee table, flipped straight to the final signature page. Then it's settled. Sign it. Ji Buchang. Ji Buchang stared at the pen for a long time, then looked back at Lu Ruyan behind him. He gritted his teeth, took the pen, and signed his name. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Civil Affairs Bureau. Don't be late. After I spoke, I opened the door and walked out. Behind me, I heard Ji Chen crying. No one chased after me. As soon as I stepped out, I dialed my assistant's number. Tell Lawyer Chen to come to my office this afternoon. I need to rewrite my will. Also, help me look up a person. Ji Buchang's distant cousin, Lu Ruyan. Check her hometown address, family relations, and past background. In short, the more detailed the better. And I need you to help me find someone. Just following Lu Ruyan's rhythm is far from enough since she wants to scheme against my life. Then I wouldn't mind personally digging a deep pit for her that she can't escape from. I drove straight to my company. Just as I entered the top floor CEO office, before I even had time to sit down, the office door was rudely pushed open. Ji Buchang's mother strutted in with her head held high. Shen Jiwei, who allowed you to divorce our Buchang? Have you considered his career? Making the family restless on purpose. What are you trying to do? Buchang's career is on the rise. If you divorce him, what will people think of him? Have you ever thought about that? I didn't even bother to respond to her. Seeing that I didn't reply, Ji's mother became even more arrogant. I'm not going to beat around the bush with you today. I'll just lay it all out. Divorce is fine, but you must leave with absolutely nothing. Every single penny in this house. Don't even think about taking it with you. I never agreed to you two being together in the first place. Look at yourself. How are you worthy of my son? You've occupied the position of the Ji family's mistress for so many years. You've gotten enough out of it. Let go as early as possible. Leave cleanly, and our family might leave you some dignity and cover up a few things for you publicly. But if you greedily refuse to let go and make a scene known to everyone, I'll let everyone judge for themselves and let everyone know how petty you, Shin Jiwei, are. Either way, it's your Shin family's reputation to lose. After hearing her utterly turn black into white, I really couldn't hold it in and burst into laughter on the spot. Reputation? Mother Ji, is your Ji family worthy of talking about reputation with me? Ji Buchang had absolutely nothing back then. No money. No connections. It was my Shin family who provided the money and resources, forcibly elevating him to his status today. His success today relies entirely on my Shin family's support. Now he's unfaithful within our marriage, allowing Lu Ruyan, a woman of unknown origin, into our home, sowing discord between us as husband and wife, and driving a wedge between my son and me. Your Ji family turns a blind eye to it all, and now you have the nerve to come to my company, acting all high and mighty, demanding I leave with nothing. You even want me to hand everything over to him and Lu Ruyan. Mother Ji's face instantly turned livid, and she immediately raised her voice. What nonsense are you spouting? Buchang has capability and talent. It's because he strives for excellence himself. What does it have to do with your Shin family? I was truly too lazy to argue with her. I directly picked up the intercom phone and told my assistant to call security to escort the guest out. As soon as I said this, Mother Ji was stunned for 2 seconds. Then she flew into a rage out of humiliation and started throwing a tantrum right there. Shin Jiwei, you have a lot of nerve. You dare to kick me out? I am your mother. I think you've gone completely crazy. For a little bit of family property, you disregard your own relatives. No wonder you can't keep a husband. Even my grandson doesn't like you. Not a moment later, 2 tall security guards quickly rushed in and politely asked her to leave. How had Mother Ji ever received such treatment? She stood rooted to the spot. I'm not leaving. This is my son's family affair. It's not for you outsiders to interfere. Shen Jiwei, just you wait. Until she was completely pushed out of the office floor by the guards. Her unwilling curses could intermittently be heard from outside the door. Soon, the assistant came up again. President Chen, Lawyer Chen is here. Lawyer Chen walked in holding a stack of documents. President Chen, according to your instructions, I've brought the previous draft of the will. You can review it first. Void the old will and rewrite the entire thing. I want all personal assets under my name to be completely severed from Ji Buchang and Ji Chen. In the future, all my property will only belong to the heir I designate. No one from the Ji family has the right to inherit. Lawyer Chen understood instantly, asked no more questions, and quickly noted down the terms. Understood. I will clearly state this in the will. Add another clause, if I adopt any children in the future, they will automatically become the first in-line heir, with priority rights to inherit all assets. After drafting the will, have it notarized and sealed immediately. Also, if anyone from the Ji family tries to contact you moving forward, ignore them completely and reject them directly. From now on, I have completely cut ties with the Ji family. Lawyer Chen packed up the documents, stood up, and nodded. Understood, President Chen. I will complete the whole process as soon as possible, and have it done for you today. After the lawyer left, the office returned to silence. I opened my phone and saw the message my assistant just sent. Lu Ruyan's complete resume, hometown background, and past suspicious points had all been fully investigated. In the past life, Ji Chen was able to secure his position as the favored son of heaven, entirely because of the business empire I poured my blood and sweat into, backing him up and paving the way. In this life, I am completely withdrawing all of his luck and reliance. Without my backing, I want to see, once separated from the Shin family's foundation, how he can still be the high and mighty destined male lead. Sure enough, everything went exactly as I predicted. After Mother Ji was humiliatingly kicked out by the security guard, she stubbornly waited outside for a while. She ran straight into Lawyer Chen, who was rushing back to his law firm. Mother Ji recognized Lawyer Chen. Seeing this, she quickly stopped him. Lawyer Chen, I didn't expect to run into you here. Wait a moment. Lawyer Chen paused his steps. Mother Ji, Lawyer Chen, my son and Shin Jiwei are getting a divorce. Do you know? You are the most professional lawyer in the industry. You have to help my son. Shin Ji-wei has such a massive fortune. Our Bo-chang cannot be taken advantage of. You must help us fight for more property. Mother G, this isn't something I can decide. Mr. G voluntarily signed the divorce agreement this morning. According to the terms, Mr. G voluntarily gave up the vast majority of the marital assets. In short, Mr. G voluntarily left the marriage with nothing. These words were like a bolt from the blue, smashing hard onto Mother G's head. She had seen enough of the world, after all, and naturally knew what this meant. At this moment, that little bit of pity she had for Lu Ruyan in her heart completely vanished. All that was left was sheer annoyance and disgust. It's all Lu Ruyan's fault, this shameless woman seducing my son. And that Shin Ji-wei too, forcing Bo-chang to leave with nothing. No, I have to go find Bo-chang and talk some sense into him. She immediately hatched an idea in her mind. Mother G returned home seething with resentment. She turned around and began vehemently badmouthing me to Ji Bo-chang and Ji Ichen. Look at Shin Ji-wei. I went to discuss a settlement with her out of goodwill, and she actually called security to drive me out. She shows absolutely no regard for marital ties or respect for elders. She just despises our G family, looks down on Bo-chang, and doesn't even care about her own biological son. She only wants to run off with all the family property. Ichen, remember this well. Your mother is a cold-blooded, selfish, wicked woman. Mother G said this as she grabbed Ji Ichen next to her. Ji Bo-chang, standing to the side, also echoed, your grandma is right. Your mother is being too heartless this time. She only ever had eyes for money in her career. Never this family, and never you. The still young Ji Ichen listened with a face full of grievance. Lu Ruyan watched the whole scene unfold, secretly delighted. She quickly went up to support Mother G. Auntie, please don't be angry. Sister Ji-wei is just caught up in her own thoughts for a moment. Actually, Brother Bo-chang is so outstanding. He naturally deserves a better outcome. There's no need to be trapped by an unsuitable marriage. Once you all get through this period, everything will be fine. When the time comes, I will take good care of Brother Bo-chang and Ichen. These words fell on Mother G's ears, yet they were exceptionally grating. It was all because of this woman that her son had to leave with nothing. What the future held was still unknown, and she still had the audacity to blatantly think about taking over. To reap the rewards without lifting a finger? You just focus on recuperating. Family matters are not for you to worry about. Bo-chang's marriage will be decided by me. It's not an outsider's place to interfere. System prompt. Target character Mother G's affection for the host has plummeted. She has developed a defensive and resistant mindset. Host's grievance detected. Male lead Ji Ichen's guilt value toward the host has risen. Current guilt value. Ji Ichen shielded Lu Ruyan behind him. Grandma, don't yell at Auntie Ruyan. Auntie Ruyan is very nice. She didn't do anything wrong. You shouldn't talk about her like that. As soon as he said this, Mother G froze on the spot, her face instantly turning ashen. Fine, I finally see things clearly now. You look all weak and honest, but your mind is incredibly malicious. I kindly took you in to recover at our home, and this is how you repay our G family. I really nurtured a tiger that invited ruin. Ji Bo-chang watched everything unfold, seeing Lu Ruyan being publicly berated by his mother. A strong sense of protectiveness instantly welled up inside him. Mom, don't say that. Ruyan has a pure and kind nature. She never sows discord. Ichen was just telling the truth casually. You don't need to take your anger out on her. Mother G's chest heaved violently in anger. Me, taking my anger out on her? Bo-chang, open your eyes and see clearly. This woman is the root of all trouble, and you're actually protecting her? Enough. Ruyan has been wrong. I'm taking her back to rest first. We'll talk about family matters later. As he spoke, he shielded Lu Ruyan, turned around and left immediately. System prompt. Host suffered public reprimand. Grievance increased. Destined male lead Ji Ichen and Ji Bo-chang, double heartache buff applied. Guilt value has risen again. Current guilt value 15. Nobody saw the corner of Lu Ruyan's mouth curl into a smile. I saw this whole scene crystal clear through the surveillance camera. What a good trick. Endure a scolding. Trade it for the double heartache of father and son, and earn 15 guilt points for free. It seems I must give Lu Ruyan a stronger dose of reality. As I was thinking, there was a soft knock on the office door. My assistant pushed the door open and walked in quickly. He stood before the desk and reported, President Shun, the person you asked me to find earlier, we found her. The next day, I arrived at the Civil Affairs Bureau on time. Just as I got out of the car, I saw Ji Bo-chang, with his arm around Lu Ruyan, standing at the door. Ji Ichen was standing beside them. I got closer and heard their conversation. Brother Bo-chang, I know I shouldn't speak out of turn, but Sister Ji-wei left too cleanly. Ichen still has to go to school and grow up. The expenses are so high. The divorce agreement didn't leave anything for Ichen, not even child support. What will Ichen do in the future? Sister Ji-wei, Brother Bo-chang is leaving the marriage with almost nothing now. Can't you at least leave some child support? Even if it's just a little token for the child. Ji Bo-chang was lectured thoroughly by his mother yesterday, so he desperately wanted me to bleed some money. Now that he had an excuse, he spoke up even more righteously. Ruyan is right. Shen Ji-wei, I signed that agreement yesterday in a moment of soft-heartedness. It doesn't count at all. If you want a divorce, fine, but you must pay Ichen's child support on time. Otherwise, I simply won't divorce. I laughed. Weren't you acting like you'd die if you didn't get a divorce yesterday? Then let's not divorce. You say it as if I was the one who wanted the divorce in the first place. Child support? I won't pay a single cent. Lu Ruyan was waiting exactly for this tough rebuttal from me. Her eyes darted around, clearly harboring malicious intent. Lu Ruyan immediately made her eyes red at the right moment. Brother Bo-chang, why don't we just forget it? Maybe Sister Ji-wei really has difficulty. I shouldn't have spoken out of turn. I shouldn't have caused such a scene between you two. System prompt. Host grievance detected. Ji Ichen's guilt value toward the host has risen. Current guilt value 20. I swept my calm gaze over Ji Buchang, Lu Ruyan, and the fiercely resentful Ji Yichen. No need to make it difficult. Since Yichen refuses to acknowledge me, and you insist on making things difficult, then I will oblige you to the end. System prompt. Male lead Ji Yichen's affection for the host has increased. Current is 96. When we came out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, it was raining outside. I opened my umbrella and stood on the steps, watching Ji Buchang walk out of another side door with his arm around Lu Ruyan. Originally, we had taken 2 cars from the villa. I took one, and the 3 of them took one. But right now at the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau, only the car I had just taken was left. Lu Ruyan comfortingly patted Ji Yichen's back. Yichen, you shouldn't be like this. Uncle driver might have been delayed by something. We'll just wait a bit. Ji Buchang looked at their interaction with a smile, then took out his phone and dialed the driver, Xiao Wang's, number. He called several times, but couldn't get through. Ji Buchang looked at me thoughtfully. Shin Jiwei, did you tell Xiao Wang to leave? I shot Ji Buchang a cold look, revealing a mocking smile. I told my driver to go pick someone up. Do I need your permission for that? Ji Yichen's face was covered with an angry expression. His eyebrows furrowed into 2 little mountains. You clearly said Uncle Wang is my private driver. Tell him to come back and pick me up right now. I didn't pay attention to Ji Yichen, but simply looked plainly at the opposite road. Calculating the time, Xiao Wang's car slowly pulled up. I quickly called out to my assistant behind me. Quick! Get an umbrella. Ji Yichen thought my umbrella was for him. He slumped to the ground and yelled at me. Bad woman, I don't want your broken umbrella. I held the umbrella and bypassed him entirely, and let out a timid girl from the car. I gave the girl my first genuine smile since my rebirth. Xiaomei, from today onwards you will be renamed Shin Anyu. You will become the only daughter of Shin Jiwei, and you will also become the true heir to the Shin group. In my past life, I sponsored many poor students from orphanages. Sun Xiaomei was one of them. After graduation, she joined the Shin group. Later, when I handed the Shin group over to Ji Yichen, she became Ji Yichen's secretary. Once, when Ji Yichen was drunk, he accidentally slipped the truth to Sun Xiaomei about him locking me in the nursing home. She held so many shares in her hands and always wanted to interfere in company affairs. Sun Xiaomei planned for a long time, stole me out of that high-end nursing home, and then took me to live in seclusion in another city. Although we were found by Ji Yichen 3 months later, those 3 months were the most dignified time I spent in the later years of my past life. Because of this, Sun Xiaomei was sued by Ji Yichen and went to prison for half a year. President Shin, all adoption procedures have been completed. Now all you need to do is go to the counter with Miss Anyu to sign, and Miss Anyu will officially be your daughter. I nodded, leading Shin Anyu at the forefront, followed closely by 4 bodyguards and 6 lawyers. But Ji Yichen ran up to me like a maniac. The bodyguards swiftly blocked me and Anyu, waiting for my next instruction. I walked up to Ji Yichen and looked down at him condescendingly. You didn't actually think I fought for your custody that day because I actually wanted you, did you? Actually, I just did it to get all my property. As for your household registration, you can never transfer it back because I originally wanted to adopt Anyu. That's why I had Ji Buchang move your registration out. From now on, Anyu is my only child, and she will also be my only heir. Ji Yichen instantly froze in shock. The astonishment on his face looked as if he heard something beyond his comprehension. He subconsciously called out, Mom! I stood up and pointed at Ji Buchang and Lu Ruyan standing not far away. Little kid, those are your mom and dad. Don't claim the wrong relatives anymore. My Shin family's relatives aren't just any Tom, Dick, or Harry that can be claimed. As soon as the words fell, I heard the system broadcast just as I wished. System prompt. Male lead Ji Yichen's affection for the host has started to drop. Current affection is 92. Lu Ruyan's expression changed drastically. She hurriedly ran over to shield Ji Yichen in her arms. Even though Ji Yichen obediently sobbed in her arms, the affection value did not rise again, and I didn't give them another glance. Taking Anyu back home, Ji Buchang's trio took a taxi back to the villa. As soon as they entered, Lu Ruyan started shouting, Quickly fetch a towel. Yichen got caught in the rain, but none of the servants in the villa responded. Ji Buchang led Ji Yichen into the living room, his usually refined face covered in anger. Shin Jiwei, are you done throwing a tantrum? Even if you are arguing with me, don't joke around with the child's health. It was raining so heavily, and you actually had the driver take both cars away. We didn't even have an umbrella and couldn't hail a cab. Lu Ruyan shielded Ji Yichen behind her. Miss Shun, since Mr. Ji and you are already divorced, shouldn't you also keep your promise and leave? I curled up the corners of my mouth, my mocking gaze sweeping over the faces of the 3 of them one by one. Me? Leave? Miss Lu, you really are stupid. All the real estate in our family was notarized before marriage, and all belongs to my premarital property. However, this villa is full of past memories, which genuinely disgusts me. I've already contacted an agent to sell it. As for the other assets, Ji Buchang already gave them all up for custody, so the 3 of you can all scram together. Your daily clothes have already been packed for you. I'm not giving you anything else. After all, you already have the most important treasure in the world. At this moment, the servants happened to carry the luggage down the stairs. I glanced at Ji Yichen, smiling sarcastically. After Ji Buchang's trio left, the people I dispatched kept following them. I wanted to see what other tricks this Lu Ruyan would pull. Right after leaving the house, Ji Buchang took Ji Yichen and Lu Ruyan straight to a real estate agency, spending 10 million to buy a mid-range apartment, and spent another 2 million on a top-spec Maybach. Yesterday, I had a lawyer check Ji Buchang's assets. Other than the little bit of assets his mother had, Ji Buchang only had 13 million in his cash account. However, Ji Buchang dared to spend so much on a house and car, surely because the Design Institute brings in a few few million every month. I could only say he was truly too stupid. Anyway, when he was checking out, Ji Buchang's face turned green. I finished the matters at hand, went to the neighboring city for a 2-day business trip. Just as I returned to the company, Ji Buchang stormed into my office. Shen Jiwei, do you think by using these underhanded methods to force me, I will change my mind? You'll only push me further away. How did I force you? Stop acting. Isn't it because I sent someone to ask for 2.4 million a year in rent? Ji Buchang's Design Institute was opened in one of my 3-story vintage mansions. That place is in the most central location in City A. According to market value, the rent is 200,000 a month. Previously, the house was provided to Ji Buchang for free. Now, of course, that's impossible. Hello? Do you remember that we're divorced? Right now, you are just a stranger to me. You rent my house, and I collect rent from you. That's the most normal thing in the world. If you think it's too expensive, you don't have to rent it. I'll give you 2 days to move out. Ji Buchang's face was full of impatience. You know exactly how much effort I poured into this Design Institute. Besides, I have a solo exhibition in a week, and I sent out the invitations a month ago. I cut him off directly. No need to say so much to me. If you rent, pay up. If not, scram. I'll pay the rent. But from now on, in my heart, you're just an ordinary landlord. I had originally thought that after Ruyan passes away, I would work hard to repair my relationship with you. For each end's sake, I would have agreed to remarry you. But seeing you like this now, it's no longer necessary. Listening to these words, I casually waved my hand. Meichem, okay, whatever, up to you. Ji Buchang almost crushed his teeth. Shen Jiwei, I really pity you. In your future world, you won't have a husband anymore. No son, only cold, hard money left. I almost laughed out loud. Seeing you this desperate. The next afternoon, Ji Buchang transferred the money to me. I had the lawyer check his accounts. He mortgaged the old house his father left him and the luxury car he just bought for a loan, just to scrape together the 2.4 million. I curled my lips and then called my secretary. On the day of Ji Buchang's solo exhibition, released the news of our divorce. 3 days later, the Design Institute was bustling with voices, lively and extraordinary. Inside, Ji Buchang was introducing his paintings to major clients, but I was blocked by Lu Ruyan at the sign-in desk. By now, the vast majority of guests had already entered, so it was just Lu Ruyan and me at the sign-in area. Today's Lu Ruyan completely changed from her usual sickly demeanor, and she looked high-spirited, exactly acting like a hostess. Miss Shin, what are you doing here? Today is Buchang's personal design exhibition. You're not welcome here. Leave quickly. My expression didn't change. I just took out an invitation from my bag. Can't I come to buy some design drafts? Lu Ruyan's eyes revealed deep disdain. She covered her mouth and started laughing. Miss Shin, you don't really think that by spending a little money to buy a few of Buchang's designs, you can reclaim your old position, do you? Shin Jiwei, you're really stupid and blindly in love. It's come to this point, and you still haven't given up. Seeing how pathetic you are, I'll kindly give you some advice. Just give up trying to win Buchang back this month. No matter what you do, Buchang will ignore you. Behave yourself. Endure this month. Once my health completely stabilizes, I'll put in a good word for you. Then you can come and beg him, and Buchang might soften his heart and return to your side. As for today, you should just head back. If you stay, I'm afraid you won't be able to handle it. Saying this, Lu Ruyan deliberately raised her voice, because Ji Buchang is about to propose to me in front of all the guests soon. Ji Buchang said that even if I only have a month left, he can't bear for me to be with him without a title. Tossing down the invitation, I walked into the venue, because I feared that if I lingered a second longer, I would laugh out loud. This is truly getting a pillow just when you want to doze off. Then I'll just sit back and watch the good show. I strolled around the Design Institute. This time Ji Buchang was hosting a small-scale solo exhibition. Almost all works had sold-out tags on them. The estimated revenue was between 5 and 6 million. While strolling, many familiar business partners came to greet me. There were also many unfamiliar ones who sought middlemen to introduce them and came to hand over business cards. President Shen, long time no see. I didn't expect you'd be here today. President Shen's business is booming lately. I must pay a visit to seek your advice another day. President Shen, hello. I've heard so much about you. Here is my card. I hope President Shen will guide me in the future. By the time I received my 10th business card, melodious classical music started playing on the lawn inside the villa. The outdoor banquet had begun. The guests successively moved to take their seats at the round tables on the lawn. I found the most conspicuous seat and sat down. Beside me were several CEOs of listed companies keeping me company, and Ji Buchang held a microphone, standing on the temporarily erected stage. First, he thanked all the guests present, and then sincerely thanked the customers who bought his paintings today. Finally, he invited Lu Ruyan onto the stage. Lastly, on this special day, I want to invite someone crucial to me to stand beside me on stage. A light-hearted proposal tune played. Ji Buchang knelt on one knee and took out a ring. Ruyan, will you marry me? But the guests present weren't even looking at them. Everyone's eyes gathered towards my direction. I picked up the red wine on the table, took a sip, and spoke in an unhurried voice. Ji Buchang and I are already divorced. From now on, Ji Buchang has absolutely nothing to do with my Shin group. As my words fell, the entire venue erupted in an uproar. My God, no wonder the atmosphere felt off today. So they were already divorced. Very quickly, a few smart people already understood what I meant. They immediately went to find the Institute's assistant to get refunds. But the two on stage only cared about embracing and weeping, completely unaware. Not long after, the design Design Institute's assistant ran over in a panic. Director G, out of the 75 paintings sold today, 70 people have come to ask me for refunds. How should we handle this now? As this was said, Ji Buchang's face instantly turned pale, and the guests gave him no time to react, surrounding him with their contracts in hand. Director G, the contract clearly states that if the design draft doesn't yield a physical product within 90 days, it can be returned for a refund. The drafts I bought today are still hanging in your exhibition hall. Hurry up and refund me. Refund mine first. I was clearly here first. Hurry up and process it. Don't waste our time. Ji Buchang took a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. Everyone, calm down a bit. Let's talk it over. Why is everyone refunding all of a sudden? Was there something inadequate in my hospitality here? Speak your minds freely. I will certainly accommodate. Before he could finish his sentence, he was interrupted by several people simultaneously. You're an adult. How can you still be this stupid? You really think you're some artist? If it wasn't to curry favor with President Shen, who would buy such shoddy drafts? In an instant, the resolute light in Ji Buchang's eyes extinguished. His face was deathly pale. He muttered to himself, how is this possible? In the end, Ji Buchang still refunded all the buyers present, not only because the contracts explicitly allowed refunds, but also because many buyers were business tycoons. He simply couldn't afford to offend them now. After all the guests left, Ji Buchang looked as if all his energy had been drained, slumping into a chair. Target character Ji Buchang's affection plummeted. Current affection. 80. Lu Ruyan was burning with anxiety. She wanted to step forward and comfort Ji Buchang. Buchang. It's fine. These people are just blind to real talent. Our designs definitely won't lack buyers. But Ji Buchang forcefully pushed her away. Stop talking. All along, Ji Buchang and Ji Yichen lived in the absolutely affluent environment I provided. After their material needs were satisfied, they wanted to demand more emotional nourishment. And in recent years, I was expanding the overseas market, spending more than half the year on business trips abroad. This gave her the opportunity to constantly sow discord and take advantage of the situation. But Lu Ruyan didn't know. The status and convenience that wealth brought Ji Buchang and Ji Yichen had already become something they were as accustomed to as the air they breathe. If a person loses oxygen, they don't have the time to care about affection levels or guilt values. She will never be able to complete her mission now. Lu Ruyan, since you like escape by death so much, then just truly rest in peace here. Seeing that I still hadn't left, Ji Buchang pushed Lu Ruyan aside and stumbled toward me. Jiwei, can you please stop leaking the news of our divorce? Even if you just look at it for our son's sake, give me some buffer time. If I go bankrupt, our son's quality of life will plummet. The reason Ji Buchang would lower his stance is because he's afraid the clients from the previous 3 months, upon learning of our divorce, would all rush to ask for refunds. He has no more cash on hand. His major assets are only the newly bought mid-range apartment and a Maybach. Mr. Ji, please get 2 things straight. First, the news of our divorce was leaked because of your proposal today. Second, I, Shin Jiwei, only have 1 daughter. I have no son. Ji Buchang's expression instantly became complicated. I continued speaking. 10 minutes ago, the Shen Group's official Weibo already published the news of our divorce. I originally wanted to let you off the hook, but your new girlfriend repeatedly came to me to show off her affection. I was also forced to do this. Ji Buchang, I advise you to sell your house and car as soon as possible. With more time, you can still negotiate a good price. After saying this, I turned around and left. System prompt. Target character Ji Buchang's affection has decreased. Current affection. 70. Lu Ruyan stared at me maliciously from the side. Who knows what wicked ideas she was plotting in her heart. The following week, I was insanely busy. What was originally 7 days of work, I compressed into 5 days, just so I could accompany Anyu to her new primary school's open day today. Anyu is 7 years old this year. She'll be in 1st grade after summer break. I chose the same primary school for her as Ji Yichen's. It is the top private primary school in City A. I first took her to the finance office in the administration building to pay tuition. As soon as we stepped out of the elevator, the lively chatter of children in the hallway could be clearly heard. The homeroom teacher was standing in the middle of the hallway, tabulating the voluntary sign-up list for the autumn camp. Teacher, I want to sign up. I want to go see the aurora. My mom and dad already prepared my travel luggage. I heard we can stay in igloos and look at the starry sky. I'm so excited. A slight gap in transcription here, because Ji Buchang had just instructed him earlier. Yichen, the Iceland study tour requires an additional 160,000 fee. It's too expensive. Daddy can't afford it right now. We won't join this time. We'll go next time, okay? The other kids saw that Ji Yichen didn't raise his hand and gathered around him, asking curiously, Ha? Ji Yichen, didn't you say before that you wanted to go to Iceland? Is your dad not letting you go? My dad also said it first. What's so fun about it? It's not like I haven't been there. The tuition for this aristocratic primary school is 200,000 per semester. It might not look like much, but aristocratic schools, aside from tuition, have many intangible derivative costs. In the past week, the people asking Ji Buchang for refunds almost crushed the Design Institute. Ji Buchang already sold his car, and the house is still waiting for a buyer. Most likely, even Ji Yichen's tuition this semester was squeezed out with difficulty, so naturally, there's no money to let him go to Iceland. And my dad's money is just temporarily stuck right now. He'll definitely let me go later. Until I led Shin Anyu closer. His eyes instantly lit up. My mom is here. She is the CEO of the Shin Group, Shin Jiwei. She will definitely let me go. However, I didn't stop my steps, nor did I give Ji Yichen any glance. Just indifferently walked past him. Ji Yichen anxiously grabbed my hand. Mom, quickly sign me up. You have money, right? Quick, Tell them I wasn't bragging. Coincidentally, Ji Buchang was supporting Lu Ruyan out of the finance office. I pointed my finger at Lu Ruyan. Little kid, you've mistaken me. Your mother is that one. The surrounding children curiously looked at Lu Ruyan and stopped talking. Ji Yichen's face instantly went pale, tears shimmering in his eyes. Lu Ruyan walked over, wanting to pull Ji Yichen into her arms to comfort him, but he pushed her to the ground. Don't touch me. Ignoring the pain, Lu Ruyan got up and still wanted to continue comforting Ji Yichen, but the next second, she froze in place. System prompt. Male lead Ji Yichen's affection for the host has dropped. Current affection is 70. Then, Lu Ruyan took a deep breath, as if she had made some kind of decision. System, I'm abandoning Ji Yichen's main quest. I'm not going to grind his guilt value anymore. This path is a dead end. He genuinely despises me. Any more effort is useless. My heart jolted violently. Then, I tried my best to conceal the turbulent waves in my heart. System prompt. Confirm abandoning main quest. Become the person Ji Yichen owes most. Main quest progress permanently voided. Unable to accumulate guilt value. Lu Ruyan did not hesitate. Confirm. I just want to escape this world as soon as possible. Are there any other escape methods? System retrieval successful. Opening fallback side quest plan. The host can within 15 days max out Ji Buchang's affection to 100% to trigger the escape mechanism. System prompt. After converting male lead Ji Yichen's affection, Ji Buchang's current affection is 99. Seeing this prompt, Lu Ruyan instantly breathed a sigh of relief. Right. Earlier, to prevent Shen Jiwei from finding any flaws, I used points to exchange for cancer. Use the remaining points to cure my cancer. After all, once I escape this world, the points will be cleared to 0. I might as well spend the remaining half-month comfortably. Treat it as a vacation before the next mission starts. Host, your points are insufficient to cure cancer. Lu Ruyan, are there any items I can sell at a discount? There is currently only one item left that can be recalled. That is the item you previously used on Ji Yichen, which can long-term improve allergic constitution. Recalling it will be just enough to cure the cancer. After curing the cancer, the remaining points will be 0. Therefore, I will enter a dormant state. In the dormant state, the host will not be able to see the target's affection level, so please complete the task as soon as possible. Once the main task is completed, I will awaken and take the host to escape the world. 3, 2, 1, cancer cleared. Goodbye, host. Ji Buchang stepped forward and helped Lu Ruyan up. Ji Yichen, how could you push your mother? Apologize to mom. I couldn't be bothered watching Lu Ruyan stage a mother-son bonding scene in front of me. I quickly pulled Anyu into the finance office. After paying the tuition, I squatted down, looked into Anyu's eyes, and said seriously, Anyu, mom's work is very busy. I will definitely miss a lot of precious time to spend with you. But please believe, everything mom does is to build a broader, more solid future for you. For instance, this autumn study tour. Mom has to go negotiate an M&A deal, so I can't go with you. But mom will arrange 2 female nannies and 2 female housekeepers to accompany you. Under Iceland's vast night sky, you can dance with the stars and meet the aurora. You will feel the infinite power of magnificent nature. Anyu, are you willing to go? Anyu thought for a moment and nodded. Mom, I'm willing. I readily paid all the fees and had the driver send Anyu home first, because next, I was going to deal with Lu Ruyan. I had someone forge a CT report for Lu Ruyan and sent it immediately to Ji Buchang. Ji Buchang, Lu Ruyan lied to us. She doesn't have cancer at all. The thing Ji Buchang hates most as a person is deception. His affection is already at 99. I don't have much time left. What crazy spell are you having now? Lu Ruyan's report from back then. I accompanied her to the hospital's self-service machine to print it out. How could she forge it? What evidence do you have to prove your words? Ji Buchang, you've known me for so long. When have you ever seen me lie? Although I don't know how she pulled it off. I had insiders pull her files. There's absolutely nothing wrong with her health. If you absolutely refuse to believe me, it's simple. You can take her to any grade 3 hospital right now. Late-stage lung cancer is such a perilous disease. The patient would continuously cough, wither away daily, and be fundamentally unable to live normally. You and Lu Ruyan have lived together day and night for so long. Have you ever heard her cough violently even once? Just search online for the symptoms of late-stage lung cancer patients, and look at Lu Ruyan again. Does she look like she's sick? Actually, I already expected that Ji Buchang wouldn't believe me. He only ever believes himself. But once the seed of doubt is planted, at least Ji Buchang will start looking at Lu Ruyan with a scrutinizing attitude during this period. Then my goal will have been achieved. I also sent a screenshot of a flight ticket to him. It was booked by my assistant using Lu Ruyan's identity information. I also found out she booked a flight abroad for half a month from now. Ji Buchang, calm down and think carefully about the changes over the past half year. Lu Ruyan turned your life upside down, turning you from an artist whose paintings could sell for hundreds of thousands to someone worthless. And in the end, she's going to dust off her hands and leave. You feel guilty toward her, but she has been calculating from beginning to end. Soon she will dust off her hands and walk away free, traveling far abroad, leaving you and Yichen trapped in this mess, struggling for a lifetime. Even if you don't consider yourself, at least think about Yichen. With a mother like this, do you think Yichen will have a good life? If you don't believe me, you can check her flight information yourself, or you can observe for the next 2 days. If there's anything amiss about Lu Ruyan, Ji Buchang didn't reply to me again, but I know Ji Buchang. He has definitely started suspecting her now and checking Lu Ruyan's phone. I originally thought that by early next morning, I would receive Ji Buchang's call, but I didn't expect that at 2 a.m. that night, Ji Buchang would call me. Shen Jiwei, can you come over here? What? Figured it out? Found Lu Ruyan's flaws? It's not about that. It's Chen. Something happened to Chen. He suddenly had a severe allergic reaction in the middle of the night. Laryngeal edema, suffocation and hypoxia. He's currently being resuscitated in the emergency room. The situation is critical. After a moment of hesitation, I still had the driver take me there. By the time I arrived at the hospital, Chen had been given strong steroids and had already pulled through. Seeing me arrive, his eyes lit up intensely. Mom, I got an allergy. It feels so awful. I should have listened to you. I shouldn't have kept a dog. Mom, I know I was wrong. Chen is a child with an allergic constitution. He has several allergens. Among them, animal hair is a high-grade allergen for him. So no matter how much he likes small animals, I never allowed him to keep one. After Lu Ruyan came into this world to curry favor with Chen, she gave him a dog and even used a long-term anti-allergy item on him. This firmly made Chen believe he wasn't allergic to animal hair at all, and that my forbidding him to keep a dog was just me lying to him and controlling him. What exactly happened? I remember you had a few animal fur allergic reactions before, but you've never been this severe. The only time you had laryngeal edema was that one time Ji Bo-chan was standing next to us and clearly also thought of that scene from back then. When Chen was little, I originally wasn't extremely strict about restricting his exposure to allergens, but Chen had an allergic reaction once, and the doctor prescribed anti-allergy medication. As a result, Chen had a severe allergic reaction to that very allergy medication. As soon as he drank it, he suffered acute laryngeal edema. From then on, I became constantly terrified with his food, clothing, housing, and transportation. I never dared to relax even once. I had the doctor draw a tube of blood and expedited it to the lab for testing. Sure enough, antihistamine ingredients were found, and the eosinophils in his blood were much higher than a normal person's. This proved that Chen had taken that allergy medication. Ji Bo-chan looked at Chen with heartache. Chen, did you eat anything weird outside? Chen shook his head. No, I was at home watching TV all day yesterday. That's impossible. You're severely allergic to this medication. So this medication would never even appear in our house. Dad, actually... Chen stopped mid-sentence and hesitated. Ji Bo-chan touched his forehead. Don't be afraid. You can tell Daddy anything. Actually, yesterday morning I saw Auntie Lu Ruyan have someone deliver medicine. Because you guys taught me when I was little that I absolutely must not take this kind of medicine. So when she was getting the medicine, I took a few extra glances. Why would Lu Ruyan feed Chen allergy medication? I stared into his eyes. Don't you find it strange? Before the age of 6, whenever Chen came into contact with cat or dog, his body would immediately break out in hives. But ever since Lu Ruyan gave Chen a dog a year ago, Chen's allergies miraculously vanished. I suspect that to divide our family, she has been secretly feeding Chen allergy medication this entire past year. Only by doing this, would Chen think that he wasn't allergic to dogs, and that my refusing to let him have a dog was because I was too controlling. The allergy medicine she secretly fed him before, Chen coincidentally wasn't allergic to. But this time when you moved, she changed to a new pharmacy to buy medicine, which caused Chen to have an allergic reaction needing resuscitation. No wonder Chen wasn't allergic to all his previous allergens this past year. It turns out she was secretly drugging Chen. Jiwei, can you please do me a favor? I need to verify one last thing. If all this is really Lu Ruyan's doing, I definitely won't let her off. An hour later, Ji Bo-chang brought an unconscious Lu Ruyan and showed up at a private hospital owned by the Shen Group. The favor Ji Bo-chang had just begged of me was that he wanted to see with his own eyes if Lu Ruyan actually had lung cancer. Then he would have to take Lu Ruyan to get a chest CT. But if Lu Ruyan was lying, she would definitely refuse to go to the hospital even if it killed her. The most direct method was to knock her out. But a normal hospital seeing an unconscious patient would definitely resuscitate first. They wouldn't agree to do a chest CT for no reason. So he thought of coming to Shen's hospital to do the CT. I agreed. Half an hour later, the CT results came out. Lu Ruyan's lungs were very clean, not even a single pulmonary nodule, let alone lung cancer. Mr. G, I can say with 100% certainty, this lady's lung health far exceeds that of a normal person. Not giving up, Ji Bo-chan consulted several more doctors online. He received the same answer from all of them. The patient's lungs are in excellent condition. Impossible to have any history of lung disease, lacking any pathological basis. Ji Bo-chan didn't say anything more and pushed the unconscious Lu Ruyan away. I knew Lu Ruyan's good days were about to begin. Over the next 15 days, the bodyguard monitoring Lu Ruyan kept reporting on their situation to me. In the beginning, Lu Ruyan was still unhurriedly creating touching scenarios for Ji Bo-chan until 14 days flashed by. Tomorrow was the final day. She still hadn't heard the system broadcast. She finally panicked and proactively set up a proposal scene. The bodyguard told me about this immediately. If I wasn't present for this kind of amusement in this life, wouldn't I have lived in vain? Luckily, the place Lu Ruyan chose was a restaurant. I managed to sneak in. By the time I arrived, Lu Ruyan was already affectionately confessing her love. Bo-chang, you know about my health condition. My days are numbered. Now, the thing I want to do most is marry. Are you willing to marry me? She was certain that Ji Bo-chang, remembering their past affection, would definitely rely on this proposal to raise his affection to 100. Ji Bo-chang looked at the woman pretending to be deeply affectionate in front of him. Are you sure? Lu Ruyan immediately nodded. I'm sure. The luckiest thing in my life was meeting you. Even at the end of my life, I only want to be by your side. Ji Bo-chang just quietly watched her act out this one-woman show. Lu Ruyan, stop acting. Bo-chang, what are you saying? I'm not acting. Ji Bo-chang took out the chest CT report from his pocket and gently placed it on the table next to them. Your terminal illness is fake, right?
Stop pretending. You don't have cancer at all.
So naturally, your days aren't numbered. Now you're begging to marry me, is it genuine? What exactly are you playing at? Lu Ruyan opened her mouth to argue, but found all explanations pale and weak. Everything she carefully arranged collapsed instantly across the board. The side quest that was originally a sure win thoroughly reached a dead end.
At the same time, the mission time was up.
The system was awakened. Lu Ruyan no longer cared about the looks from the people around. She cried and screamed loudly, asking the system to take her away.
I will do the missions properly in the future. Please.
But before she could finish, the system's cold electronic voice came through. Mission failed.
System detached. As this voice faded,
no matter how Lu Ruyan threw a tantrum and wailed, the system never made another sound. I watched the whole process
and left expressionlessly.
Lu Ruyan had paid the price she deserved, but I didn't feel relaxed at all, because I still had more important things to do. All domestic trivial matters were completely settled. The Shin Group held a high-level strategic meeting, officially finalizing the overall development layout adjustment, comprehensively opening up the overseas high-end market. I methodically finished my final domestic work handovers, arrived on time at the summer camp gates, and picked up Shin Anyu, who I hadn't seen for many days.
As soon as the little one saw me,
she firmly threw herself into my arms.
Mom, I missed you so much.
I was obedient every day
and studied well.
After soothing the little one's emotions,
I took Shin Anyu and boarded
the private flight heading overseas. Mom, we're going to a very, very far away place this time, right?
We'll settle down there. And never come back? Yes, from now on we'll settle in a new city and have a brand new life.
No messy affairs, no unhappiness.
Anyu's eyes instantly lit up.
Will there be a big lawn there? Will there be my favorite little garden?
Can I be with Mom every day?
And we never have to separate, right?
There will be everything. As long as Anan likes it, Mom can arrange it all.
In the future, Mom will keep our Anyu company every day.
Okay?
The peaceful and leisurely overseas days flashed by. In the blink of an eye, 2 more months passed. I dedicated myself entirely to the Shin Group's overseas market. The last time I heard news about Ji Buchang and the others was one afternoon. After my assistant finished reporting on work,
he said with a bit of hesitation, President Shun.
That street-facing standalone vintage mansion back in the country, which was previously leased to Ji Buchang for his design institute, has completed the lease termination and re-rental procedures today. The new tenant is a top-tier famous domestic painter. The lease term is 5 years.
The rent was paid in full up front. This sentence piqued my curiosity. Did Ji Buchang's side voluntarily terminate the lease?
Yes, President Shun. In these past 2 months, Ji Buchang completely broke under the debt pressure. Previously, with the design exhibition entirely refunded, collaborations collapsing,
and no subsequent order revenue,
his accumulated external debts piled higher and higher. He was already unable to make ends meet.
I listened quietly. No ripples in my eyes. Understood.
President Shin, Lu Ruyan's emotions have completely broken down. She babbles nonsense everywhere, saying things about mission points and escaping the world.
In the end, they could only contact a hospital
and sent her into a psychiatric hospital for long-term confinement.
Completely isolated from the world. I listened to the whole report,
and in the bottom of my heart, there was only a profound peace. They paid the most absolute price for their own greed, stupidity, and scheming.
Just at this moment,
Anyu ran over to me skipping happily, holding a freshly picked bunch of little daisies. Mom, the flowers bloomed so beautifully. Can we arrange flowers tonight?
Of course we can.
We can embrace our own vast mountains and seas.
The rest of our lives will only be filled with blooming flowers and enduring peace.